well because I can fit in everywhere. As you can see, I can dance to every song that comes on the radio, from country western to Cuban jazz, okay? Because friends, I am really honored to share that over 25 years of leading teams across a variety of industries, I've got a really great track record of leading high-performing teams where everybody thrived. And they weren't just happy. We're putting numbers on the board, double-digit growth for every team that I led, and I'm so grateful for that success. And I started to peel back exactly what was my secret sauce. What was it that caused my teams to be so high-performing? And the truth is, we were inclusive. Everybody felt they belonged. They were willing to have hard conversations. They all thrived because they felt they belonged and they were included. So now, as a speaker and a coach and an author and a consultant, I help other leaders and organizations tap into inclusion as a performance accelerator, and that's exactly what it is.
It's Melissa Majors, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. Welcome to the 7 Simple Habits of Inclusive Leaders. Before we go any further, I have to establish one ground rule, and it's this. This is a guilt-free zone. I am not going to shame or blame you into trying to change your inherent beliefs. And by the end of the session, if I do my job correctly, I think you'll be convinced that our brains are to blame for why we unintentionally exclude others.
However, I have to admit, whenever I suggest tactics like this, there's always somebody that comes to me later and says, "Oh, Melissa, I wouldn't feel comfortable echoing someone's voice or standing up when I see someone being treated unfairly. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it." I'm curious who's in the room with me. Would you feel comfortable taking a stand at work? Raise your hand. You're like, heck yeah! Okay, if I get in a bar fight later tonight, I want y'all in there with me, okay? So not too long ago, I was asked to deliver a talk at a beautiful venue in San Antonio, Texas. This gorgeous pre-built theater, tricked out green room with every kind of beverage you could imagine. But the best part, there was a bathroom backstage. So as a speaker, you get nervous. So that way you can go before you go on stage. Brilliantly designed. So the gentleman who was speaking before me was about 8 minutes into his 20-minute speech. So I figured, oh, great, I got time to go before I go on stage. So just about the time that I got untangled from my Spanx, I hear applause. And then the voice of Satan announcing my name. "Please help me welcome to the stage, Melissa Majors." Ah! I popped back on those Spanx and took off running. By the time I got to my mark, I sauntered up to the microphone and tried to look cool, but I was winded and glistening. I said, "Melissa, you look like a hot, nervous mess. How are you going to recover from this?" So what I did, I just admitted what happened. And it humanized me. I was able to connect with my audience on a much more personal level because I was just real with them. Now read this. Read it together. What does it say on the screen? Ooh, y'all sound uncomfortable just saying it. Conflict is healthy. Conflict. It's at the intersection of conflict where the really great ideas are discovered. But what do we oftentimes do when it gets uncomfortable? How many of you recently have heard someone say, "Let's take this offline"? Raise your hand. Yeah, more, it gets uncomfortable, so we take it offline. Well, here's what happens when it gets offline. Ooh, it really gets nasty. Because then you have behind the scenes backbiting and jockeying for position, and it grows and festers and turns into toxic cultures. How many of you are committed to doing something differently? Raise your hand. All right, yell this with me. Habits. 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 It's the only way you're going to do it. Because you can mean really well and be pumped up by this chick who's been talking to you for the last 60 minutes. But when you get back to your office, stuff's going to get in the way. And if you are really committed to doing something differently, choose habits to make it happen.